on Tyra.
I am still in love with him.
I love you for our children. I'm just not in love with you anymore.
It's time to let him go.
The 5 best ways to truly get over your ex.
Tough breakups. I've been through tough breakups. How many?
See how to get the closure you need.
Delete him. Pictures. Get rid of this. He's not that cute, by the way.
Say no to the rebound.
So you're serial dating to try to get over it.
You need to take a 3-month hiatus.
It only Tyra starts now.
Okay, well, joining us all hour to help us cope with better breakup coping devices is Dr. Deborah Mandel. She's a psychologist, and she's the author of Dump That Chump. Gosh. Wow. Okay, so first of all, I introduced you. I want you to hold off for 1 second. I want to ask, she says that she's in love with you, Chris. What do you want? Are you in love with her?
I am not in love with her anymore.
You're not?
No.
You're not in love with her. So this relationship is over?
For me, it's over.
Okay. It's harsh, but it's something that you need to hear because it's about moving forward. You say you can't get over him, you love him so much. So, Dr. Deborah, what does she do?
Oh, well, this is so tragic because there is children involved, and that's very hard. But, you know, you can't make someone want to stay if they don't want to stay. So, Kristen, the most important thing you can do is to get closure. And closure really means you have to accept that it's over for him. And even though you have questions and it's difficult to do, that's the most important thing to do at this point. So you can be free to move forward.
Is this closure today? Him saying he doesn't want to be with her and being very clear about it? Is that closure?
Well, I think that's a start. I mean, we're really lucky when we actually have somebody who's willing to tell us exactly why we don't want to be with the person anymore. As hard as it is to hear, it's important to get that information. And I'm not sure if Chris has other things that he wants to say, or is that the main important thing?
Right now, that's the main thing I want to say.
Okay.
Well, you're talking about the closure. So that brings us to our very first rule to getting over being dumped. You have to get closure. Get closure. Kristen, what do you think that you can do to start to get some closure? Because it's over. It's clearly over. So what do you think you can do?
I know I just have to accept it, but it's just very hard.
Can you turn to her and release her? Do you know what I'm saying?
Kristen.
Maybe you can give her that.
Over the last, I would say, a year now, we've been going through our problems, which led me to question a lot of things. And for the most part, which my anger and my hurt and my pain, you know how I can get sometimes. I can get very angry. I don't want to argue and fight in front of the kids if we do end up going on further with this. I don't want them to see that. They shouldn't have to see our problem unfold right in front of them. It could cause a lot of problems for them emotionally.
Kristen, are there any questions that you need answered? Do you want to ask him anything? This is your chance.
The main question is, a few weeks ago when we did almost hook up, you said there's always going to be the attraction, the feelings, and the connection. What did you mean by that?
I mean, I'm always going to be attracted to you. I was in love with you. But now I'm not. I love you for our children. There's always going to be the attraction. I'm just not in love with you anymore.
Is that enough, Kristen?
I think so.
You sure? Is that a mixed message with him saying that I'm still attracted? Is that kind of leading her on?
Yes. Chris, on your part, you have to be really clear. If you want her to be free and you want her to have a happy life, you've got to let her go. And you've got to stop giving mixed messages. And then, Kristen, write this down. Write down everything he said. Put it in a journal. I want you to read it every single day. Give it to a friend to read to you. Read it out loud. Make sure that you really solidify that in your heart and take some responsibility for what didn't work in the relationship. Don't beat yourself up. That never helps. Don't shame yourself, but say, okay, this is what I did and this is what I need to learn for the next time around.
Okay. Got that, Kristen? I wish you strength. You're going to get past this. It feels like the end of the world, but you're a beautiful girl. You got him, so that means you can get somebody else too. Okay?
Thank you.
You had him.
Yeah, you've had him.
Okay, you had him. Okay, we'll be right back.
Up next, she was cheated on and dumped. Now she demands her revenge.
The first thing I did, every number on that phone bill, I sent a text message just saying.
And later, find out how you can tell if your man is going to dump you before it happens.
It's better to dump than be dumped, absolutely.
Still with us is Dr. Deborah Mandel. What do you think about the revenge that she did? The audience is going, yeah, woo, but is that healthy?
Well, because you know what? Revenge in our minds is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a great release when we can think and concoct in our minds all the different ways that we can get back. But if you actually act on it, then you can really cause trouble, not just for other people, but for yourself, because oftentimes we have no idea what the long-term consequences are going to be. So we think in the moment that it's, oh, this is really cool and I feel better, but in the end, we have to pay a really high price.
So the second rule to getting over being dumped is get the right revenge. Not crazy revenge, but the right revenge. How did you feel in the end?
When I left, once I was able to step outside of and look at the picture from the outside, I just realized he's just so not worth me. You know,
Yeah.
You get back what you put into it, and I feel like it'll come back to him, and it's his loss. So.
Well, thank you so much for telling your story. If anyone at home wants to see how the date went, just go to our website and you're going to get the full scoop and some footage too. We'll be right back.
Up next, how not to mend a broken heart.
Going on lots of dates with different guys.
16 guys in the last month, I hear.
And later, she keeps going back to the guy who keeps dumping her.
He used to send me emails like, I hate you, but I love him, and it's like I can't see myself without him.
Give you a hug. Doctor, what advice do you have for Betty in terms of this rebound that she's trying to, she's not even good at it.
Betty, my heart bleeds for you because I think we have all been there, but sadly you're not over the guy, and so you're trying to find other guys to replace him, and every time you do that you're going to go through that whole comparison thing, and it's just not going to work. It obviously isn't working, and it's actually just keeping your pain prolonged. So I really think what you need to do is take a step back, say 3-month hiatus. Work on yourself, really heal this pain, let it go so that you're not feeling the sadness or any anger left over from the other relationship. That's when you know that you're really ready to move on. Because dating can be so much fun. Look at you, you're beautiful, you're alive, you're vibrant, you've got all these great things to offer, but instead you're like an aching little hole in there hoping that somebody's going to come and fill that up.
Do you think you can do 3 months? That's a long time. Do you think you can?
I mean, that's a long time, especially since I'm just used to always having a boyfriend and always, you know, having attention constantly. So, I mean, I'll try my best.
But that's all the more reason to do it, because when you give yourself that 3 months, you will get stronger, more independent, and then guys will be a bonus pack, not your main substance.
Yeah, and you have great friends. You've got Stephanie. Yeah, you guys can hang out and do girl stuff and get your hair done and get manicures and pedicures and go to movies and go to the club and don't get any numbers while you're there. Right? You could do that. You promise me you're going to try that?
Promise.
Okay. Look me in the eyes. Say it again.
I promise, Tyra.
Okay, Betty. We'll be right back. Doctor, how can she move on?
Well, first of all, Katie, you've given this guy your entire self-esteem on a platter, and you're stuck in what I call the pining, romanticizing, and fantasizing period of ending a relationship. He's a chump. It's time to let him go, okay? you need to... You've got your whole life ahead of you. You need to take that stuff and you need to dump it. Dump the chump. That means his things.
So the next rule for how to get over being dumped is delete him from your life. Delete him. Like when I get dumped or just feel really bad and I want to disconnect myself, the first thing I do is I erase his name out of my cell phone, take the pictures down. I don't throw away the pictures because I feel like that's a part of my life, but any mementos and all that stuff, either in the trash or in storage in the valley in LA, which is like really far. Yeah, I get it away from myself. Do you think you could do that?
It'll be hard, but it's something I have to do to help myself.
Okay, I'm going to come with you, okay? Can you hold these for me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we got T-shirts. We got the perfume. Remember you said oh, it's gone.
It's spilled on the plane.
Good. T-shirts. All this, we're going to throw this away, okay? and this journal crap, writing about how much you love him. Get rid of this. I'm going to put this in a trunk. All right. Gone. And I'm going to hold on to that. And that's really trash, but I'm going to respect you and not throw it away yet. And I just want to see how strong you can be to let that go. And it's so funny, the mom with you talking about your daughter and her crying in your arms, I've done that about 5 times with my mom. We have a ritual. I go to her house. I live there for a month. I tell all my friends, I'm just bonding with my mom. She's feeding me chicken soup because I can't eat. All right, and every now and then you guys see me lose a lot of weight. I ain't working out. I was depressed and heartbroken. All right, so I wish, you know, Mom, you know how it is. You've been heartbroken too. And this is just the first one of many more to come. We'll be right back.
Don't let the fun stop at the end of the show. Join me in Tyra's virtual studio where you can hang out, listen to music, chat with your friends, and even me. Go to tyrashow.com to sign up now.